different series of poems at the same time. Not almost the same time. And they were terrorists series, wrestlers series, and Buddhist saints series. And so I'm going to read 5 of the poems from the Buddhist saints series. The first Buddhist saint is the Japanese Soto Zen man called Dogen. Enlightenment upon piers and protruding structures, complete thoughts, lines pointing back at themselves. Spring is the best season for the composing of dictates, autumn for reading them. In high Holborn, with the shock of a man treading unexpectedly upon a little brown Richard III, I picked it up and stroked it. Satori. It flew away. Second Buddhist saint, Chogyam Trungpa, famous for being a brilliant Buddhist and also being a heroin addict who was really responsible with his penis. Naropa for many years. Who is to say that fucking distorts the holier wavelengths? Mina Loy lived here, the invention of herpes, lovely whistles and flutes. Fast with a fortnight of fights, we smoked cocaine for 40 days and 40 nights. Woke up to a tray of highballs, speedballs and dollar signs with jimmies on both of our dicks. Serene as lemons in the cold morning light, upon the high mesa, pondering the fragility and beauty of the human envelope. Third Buddhist saint is Philip Whalen. It is a beautiful world in the joke. There is a Mexican and a Puerto Rican, and now it is all fucked from the top of a mountain. An insect lands on the sacredness of all things. I swat at the fly. Be reborn a Buddha. Splat. The joke in there is that Philip Whalen was so short-sighted he couldn't have splatted an elephant. The fourth Buddhist saint is not a close friend, but a friend of mine, Stacey Doris. She was my age. She died of cancer a couple of years back, leaving husband and children. I was really upset reading this. In the frozen planet, I do not think of penguins gathering to protect their young, toss frisbee or measure the length of Golden Gate Park by stretching. But in it, where once I was an apartment in Manhattan, and you too, and this husband, and the star points in your ovaries had not yet descended to becoming children, who are here now, who is ever really here now, as long as they'd like, Stacey, in the way that they'd like it. And the final, fifth Buddhist saint is Jeremy Prynne. He should really be in the terrorists series. The entire teaching of Buddhism can be summed up in this way. Nothing is worth holding on to. If you let go of everything, objects, concepts, teachers, Buddha, self, senses, memories, life, death, freedom. Let go and all suffering will cease. The world will appear in its pristine, self-existing nature, and you will experience the freedom of the Buddha.